Some stories are told to entertain, others exist to haunt you forever. Dead-end stories. You've already entered. There's no turning back now.
I used to love swimming. Used to love the weightless feeling of floating in cool water on a hot day. Now, I can't even take a bath without panicking. I can't close my eyes in the shower. Because when I do, I'm back there. Back in that cenote. And I can feel them watching me from beneath the surface. It started as the perfect vacation. My girlfriend Eliza and I had been saving for months to visit Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. We're both amateur photographers, and the idea of capturing the mystical beauty of the cenotes, those natural sinkholes filled with crystal clear groundwater, was irresistible. Our guide, Miguel, was a local who specialized in taking tourists to the hidden gems, as he called them. The cenotes that were not overcrowded with tourists. Places that still felt sacred. He then told us that the ancient Maya believed cenotes were gateways to Xibalba, the underworld. That they performed ceremonies here. Sometimes, sacrifices. Eliza was fascinated by this. She kept asking questions about the rituals, the offerings made to the rain god Jack. I was more interested in getting the perfect underwater shot. If only I'd listened more carefully to what Miguel was telling us. On our third day, Miguel took us to what he called a special place. We hiked for nearly 2 hours through dense jungle. No trail, just Miguel occasionally checking an old map. Eliza asked him, "Are you sure this place even exists?" And Miguel replied, "Oh, it exists. But few people visit. It is difficult to find if you don't know the way." When we finally reached it, I understood why it was worth the journey. A perfect circular opening in the earth, maybe 60 feet across. The limestone edges draped with vines and delicate ferns. And below, water so blue it seemed to glow from within. But something felt off. Unlike the other cenotes we visited, there were no birds singing near this one. No insects buzzing. Just an unnatural silence that seemed to press against my ears. Miguel told us, "This one is called El Pozo de los Lamentos by locals." Eliza replied jokingly, "The Well of Lamentations? That's a bit dramatic." Miguel then said very serious, "The Maya did not use this cenote for normal offerings. Only in times of great drought or disease. Only when they needed to appease angry gods." I should have noticed how Miguel stayed far from the edge. How he kept checking his watch, telling us we shouldn't stay long. But I was already setting up my underwater camera housing, eager to capture what lay beneath. The descent to the water was steep but manageable thanks to an ancient stone stairway cut into the rock. As we climbed down, I noticed carvings in the limestone walls. Faded glyphs. Faces with hollow eyes. I snapped a few photos. Then Eliza asked Miguel, "Aren't you coming down?" Miguel, calling from above, replied, "No. I will wait here. We should leave before sunset. 1 hour only, please." The water was cold, much colder than the other cenotes we visited. It bit at my skin as I slipped in, making me gasp. But it was incredibly clear. I could see straight to the bottom, maybe 30 feet down. Limestone formations. Submerged tree roots. And there, half buried in the silt, something white. I dove down for a closer look. As I got nearer, I realized it was a broken vessel of some kind, ornately painted despite centuries underwater. Next to it, something else caught my eye. Something that made me nearly inhale water in shock. I swam back to the surface as fast as I could. When Eliza saw me, she asked me, "What's wrong? What did you see?" I was panicking, couldn't speak. Couldn't find the words. Because what I'd seen, partially hidden by sediment, was unmistakably human. A skull. Small, a child's maybe. And it wasn't alone. As my eyes adjusted to the deeper water, I could make out more shapes. More remains. Then Eliza, "You're scaring me. What's down there?" I finally found my voice. And said, "Bones. There are bones down there. A lot of them." Well, Miguel said they did sacrifices here. It's an archaeological site. Pretty creepy, But also kind of amazing, right? Eliza said. She didn't understand. Didn't feel what I felt. There was something wrong about this place. Something in the water with us. I could feel it watching. That's why I noticed the water had become perfectly still. No ripples, despite our movement. And colder. Much colder than moments before. Do you hear that? Eliza asked me. At first, I heard nothing. Then, it came. A sound from deep below. Not quite a voice. More like the memory of a voice. A child's soft weeping, distorted by water and time. I called up to Miguel, but got no response. The jungle above the cenote had grown dark, though it couldn't have been later than 3 p.m. Then Eliza, suddenly tense, said, "Something just touched my leg." I reached for her, but the water between us seemed to thicken, resist. That's when I looked down and saw them. Shapes moving in the depths. Not swimming. Rising. Slowly. Small figures with long, dark hair floating around skeletal faces. I screamed at Eliza to get out, to swim for the stairs. She didn't question me, just turned and started swimming. But the water, it didn't want us to leave. It grew dense, like struggling through syrup. Each stroke taking enormous effort. I looked back. They were closer now. A dozen small figures. Their eye sockets empty black pools, yet somehow I knew they could see me. Their bony hands reaching upward. I've never pushed my body so hard. The stone steps seemed miles away. And Eliza, I heard her gasp. Turned to see her suddenly pulled downward. Her eyes wide with shock. Her hand reaching for mine. Our fingers brushed for just a moment before she disappeared beneath the surface. I dove after her. The water was darker now. I could barely see a few feet ahead. But I could hear them. Their whispers. Their giggles. Children's voices, speaking in an ancient tongue I somehow understood. They were saying with excitement, "Another offering. The thirsty gods are pleased." I caught a glimpse of Eliza being pulled deeper, her body limp, trailing bubbles. Around her, those small, skeletal forms. I kicked harder, lungs burning. And then one turned to look at me. "Her is ours now. But you have been chosen for something else," he said. Something cold wrapped around my ankle. I kicked, broke free, and with the last of my strength, shot toward the surface. My lungs were about to burst when I finally broke through, gasping and choking. I don't remember how I got out of the water. Don't remember climbing those stone steps. My next clear memory is running through the jungle, branches whipping my face, thorns tearing at my skin. Running from something I could feel right behind me. I found the road as night was falling. Flagged down a passing truck. The driver took one look at me, soaking wet, wild-eyed, babbling about children in the water, and crossed himself before letting me in. El Pozo de los Lamentos? No one goes there. No one returns from there. The search for Eliza lasted 2 weeks. They found our equipment by the cenote. But no sign of Eliza. No sign of Miguel either. The local police seemed unsurprised. One of them said, "The cenotes can be dangerous. Underground currents. Easy to get lost in cave systems." But I know what happened. I know what's in that water. What's been there for centuries, collecting offerings. And I know they're not finished with me. Because ever since I returned home, strange things have been happening. My faucets turn on by themselves. And sometimes, when I pass a mirror or any reflective surface, I don't see my face. I see that cenote. And small faces watching me from beneath the surface. 3 days ago, I received a call. No caller ID. When I answered, all I could hear was the sound of water dripping. And then, faintly, Eliza's voice. "They want you to come back. They've saved a place for you." Last night, I woke to find my bed soaking wet. The sheets, the pillows, drenched. And on my chest, a small handprint of wet silt. I'm going back. I don't have a choice. They won't stop until I do. They've marked me somehow. Chosen me. And whatever waits for me in the depths of El Pozo de los Lamentos, I know Eliza will be there too. If you're ever in the Yucatan and a guide offers to show you an untouched cenote, a secret place, run. Don't look back. Because the old gods are still there. Still thirsty. And the children are always looking for new friends to join them beneath the surface. I can hear them now. They've found me. They're here.